I remember back when I was in high school, I could never really ever control my mind. I could never really control the ideas and the thoughts that would circulate up there. It would be so simple, like I would have a conversation with somebody and I was a little socially awkward. I didn't really communicate all that well, and I would say to myself, he probably thinks I'm weird now. He probably thinks I'm some loser degenerate. And that little thought would circulate through my mind for days and weeks and months. Sometimes years, I can't lie. Like I would be overthinking about crap back in high school anyway, not now. Back in high school I'd be overthinking about crap that happened years ago and still be deliberating over it and cringing over it. I'll do that sometimes today as well. You probably do the same. It's just that back then these ideas, these thoughts would just come in my mind. Not positive ideas, by the way, negative, pessimistic ideas. I felt like I had no control over my brain. I could never really even think of anything positive about anything. Even when positive things were happening in my life, I would somehow find the route to turn it into a negative. That all changed when I journaled, but see, now the thing is with journaling, I'm going to tell you about journaling, and some of you might not even take me seriously, and the other rest of you will listen to me, see me explain how journaling is so great, and you won't journal anyway. You do not understand how bad you have it at the moment if you do not journal. Obviously you doom scroll, right? I doom scroll too, I can't lie. So my brain's already fried from that. So then if you doom scroll, but then you don't do this on top, you're so cooked, but you don't even realize it. I remember when I went to Snowy Mountains. It's like a bunch of mountains with a bunch of snow everywhere. Very beautiful place. And here around where I live. And I went there around, wow, it must have been like 7 years ago now at this point. And I had my goggles on, right? You know, the snowboarding goggles with the orange tinge on it. And then when you put them on, it makes everything look orange. I had that on the entire day. And slowly but surely, maybe you can relate to this. Slowly but surely, you even kind of forget you're wearing goggles. You're just playing in the snow, having a fun time. You even forget that there's a big strap contraption on your head, right? But then I think something like my eyes got itchy, or I had to like do something, rub my eyes. So I took off my goggles and fucking when I took it off, I was just blinded by the light of whiteness around me because everything was orange. So then when I took it off, just blinded by whiteness everywhere. And that's kind of like your brain right now. You are wearing the goggles right now, and you don't even realize you're wearing the goggles because that's just your reality. That's just how you live life. You have to take off the goggles and see how white everything really is. And I guess the white in this instance is how much mental clarity you can get. I literally speed ran through life after I discovered journaling. Like, this thing has saved my life. I'm not talking fixed my life, not talking about gave me some sort of purpose, sense of clarity, got me on the right track. No. Journaling saved my life. I was on a completely different trajectory than where I am today. I was meant to be a 9 to 5 guy, slowly letting his dreams die, never working towards any of his ambitions, and kind of just, meandering through life. Never really making anything of himself, never taking any risk. That was who I was meant to be. And it's sad because if I didn't discover journaling, I would be a loser. My life would have been ruined. I'm not kidding. I was in a terrible, terrible place during high school. And then like 1 year after I graduated, my first year of university, after that, I started to journal. So before that, I hated myself. I was depressed. I had social anxiety, overthinking, suicidal, every single mental health illness you can think of. I probably had ADHD too, somewhere in there. When I started to journal, I finally took control of my thoughts. No longer was I thinking and ruminating on the same thing. You know, that one conversation, back to where I was talking about, that one conversation with that guy, and he now thinks I'm a weirdo. No longer was I thinking about it. I just wrote down my feelings. And it's kind of like when you write it down, it gives a sense of finality to it. It kind of closes that chapter of that thought, and you kind of just move on with your life. You're not thinking about it all the time because you're busy, right? You're doing things, you're eating, you're walking, you're driving, you're working, you're sleeping. So you kind of just get busy in your life, but then all throughout the day, you're just thinking about the same things. You never just get the opportunity to sit down, think, dedicated time to thinking out loud while you're writing, so that you can just stop thinking about the idea all the time. That's what journaling does. It gives you clarity. It gives you control back of your most important weapon. Right up here. Most of you guys, you don't even choose the things you think about. You just let your mind think for you. And most of those thoughts are pretty negative. And you don't even realize it. You're talking crap about yourself. You're telling yourself stuff like, I can't talk to that girl, or I can't go and do that thing, or I can't apply for that job, I can't study and get good grades for this test. You're just thinking these negative thoughts about yourself. You don't even realize it. You have to take control of your brain, and it's not going to happen overnight, but it will happen within 2 weeks. Within 2 weeks, you just journal every day. You think about anything, you write it down, and you'll take control back of your life. And above that, once you take control of your life, you start to make good decisions. I've made so many decisions in this journal, so many important decisions that I'm thinking, should I do this? What should I do? And this has helped me tremendously. I'll even show you. Wait, let me see the first. Let's go through the first everything I've journaled in this together. 15th of the 8th. What is that? August 2022. I wrote down things I'm grateful for. I wrote down 6 things I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for tissues. I'm grateful for tissues. I'm grateful for my mom. Wholesome. I'm grateful for my blanket. Bro. I'm grateful for my clothes. I'm grateful for my friends. I'm grateful for food. Yeah, fat fuck. I was a fat ass back then. Of course I was grateful for food. But you get what I'm saying? Try it out. And you'll finally take the goggles off. The snow goggles off. And you'll see how much clarity you can truly possess.